Here we go again. Jay Skyline, James, and Flair here for the Unfiltered Grind Mode Worldwide Radio. As always, we was just about to jump back into our sports conversations we were just having. We were off air talking about Kyrie and, again, his choices. Again, I have no issue personally with Kyrie wanting to leave the Cavaliers because he has a title. He didn't win a title. I feel like, I don't know what you can say. But you got your title, you're 25, and Kobe's your mentor. I understand. But the choices. Run them down again. Timberwolves because of Jimmy Butler. Spurs because of Pop. Miami because of Pat Riley and the fact that they have a young core. And third, the Knicks because of Tony. How do you, like I said, you said how you feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I don't know about Minnesota. To start off Minnesota, I like their core. I like Wiggins. I like Butler. Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's the best center in the game right now. Most diverse, him and Embiid. If you're going to San Antonio, you're just going to go for a coach. They're old, man. They're getting up there. Parker's getting old. Aldridge is he's 30-something years old. Who'd you say? Miami? Whiteside. Who's Dragic still there?
Yeah, Dragic. No, they was traded to get Dragic like last year. He's still there.
Waiters, did he resign?
Deion Waiters is still there, which is a funny one. He's on the Cavaliers.
They're young. They're young. I do like Miami.
I trust Pat Riley.
Yeah,
that's something I can't say. Like between all the legends that have been messing up their names recently, like Phil Jackson, I still trust Pat Riley.
How'd that go down? Phil Jackson, man.
He didn't want the job.
He was
Jim Dolan. What I understand is Jim Dolan kept on raising the money.
Okay.
Like he kept on asking him. Phil said no. There was a certain point where he gave him enough dollars. And he was like,
yes.
But like he was a part-time GM. He wasn't even at most of the games.
Mm-hmm.
So he tried to trade your best player. He tried to trade both Porzingis and Melo. Like he was saying, like when you try to trade both. Like I understand Melo a little bit.
Yeah, Melo's not wanting to get out of there.
You try to trade Porzingis.
You have to build around Porzingis and drafting Ntilikina.
I'm always.
What did he had before that? He had somebody. He could have grabbed somebody. Dennis Smith Jr.
Yeah, I always worry about getting them European dudes. Even though I like the only European dude that I really thought was going to be good and didn't work out the way I thought it was, even though he's probably still one of the best assist guys in the last 10 years, was Ricky Rubio.
I like Ricky Rubio. I like him on Minnesota. Assist man, like you said, he plays defense, steals, all that.
He just can't shoot.
No,
he just can't shoot.
No, he's a good facilitator, though. I will give him that.
And then, like I said, I like Porzingis, but outside of that, a lot of these guys, I think they're doing the 30 for 30 from the dude from the Pistons soon.
Yeah,
Milicic. Yeah, they're doing that 30 for 30. So, that's my issue is because we don't see y'all. I got to see Rubio. I remember watching the Olympics with Rubio, so I saw him a little bit more. The rest of these dudes I never see. Like the dude from Australia last year that went to Utah. I don't remember. Dante Exum?
Exum.
Yeah, I never saw that dude.
He was like 2 years, but he'd been getting hurt towards ACL last year, I believe.
Right. So it's hard for me to evaluate the European guys that come out now.
Agreed.
Same thing with it's not even just European because the one dude that got drafted for the Cavaliers a couple of years ago was Canadian. He's disappeared.
Who that? Oh, Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
Terrible. What is he? He went first overall.
First overall.
Bust.
Everybody drafted after him. Probably played better than him.
Right, I have to look up that draft class, but that was terrible, man. First overall, you don't even.
He's a Jamarcus Russell of the NBA. I can look at it like that.
You're gonna say Jamarcus Russell's the worst player to ever get drafted, or one of the worst first overalls? Not the worst.
To not have any issues that weren't off the field, because I think we figured out that Ryan Leaf had like a lot of substance issues on the field.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Right. Where Jamarcus Russell was just like, I never heard anything bad about Jamarcus Russell
in college.
In college, I never heard anything bad about him as a person. Yeah. He seemed like a good guy.
Right.
It just didn't work. And he went up to 300 pounds.
Oh, but he got back down, didn't he?
He got like to 270.
Drinking doing it all. He got caught with a bunch of lean, I believe.
Did he? Okay. Oh. So never mind. That takes that back. Because we talk about stuff like that a lot. Like Justin Blackmon. Yeah. As a Rams fan, I remember that draft specifically because I wanted them to pick Justin Blackmon and they traded down.
Oklahoma State?
Yep. And then he went to Jacksonville and never played a game.
Yeah.
Never played a game.
I thought he played at least one.
Yeah, he
got like a 200-yard game. But
yeah, he was killing whenever he did play.
Yeah, he did. It was his first 4 years, right? He played 4 games and he had like a couple 100-yard games.
Right.
And Josh Gordon, who's always always in trouble.
The thing
is, his suspension is let you play with him on that. because I played with Josh Gordon on Madden. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's it. Just throw it up.
He was a beast for those. What he played? What did he have? A year or two? 2 years?
I know his first year he played 12 games and led the league
In receiving yards. Yeah, man. That's unreal. 12 games leads the league in receiving.
I ain't never seen him play.
For the Browns.
Yeah, who was the quarterback?
That's a good question.
Was it multi? It was like probably
yes.
5. It was like, yeah. Josh McCown was on it.
Brady Quinn.
Well, see, that might have been the year that they tried to kill Campbell. Remember Campbell started the game?
Jason Campbell. Yeah, Jason Campbell from Auburn, man.
Oh,
He was terrible.
I think was that Lewis playing that year? There was a
Jamal Lewis.
Jamal what?
No,
that was way
before.
before. That was a while ago. That was that was like when they still had hope.
I don't think they ever had a hope. Oh man, they're the Browns. They've been taking L's since when?
That's always my you know how bad I feel for the Browns fan. Not Cleveland, but Browns fans for the fact that y'all lost y'all squad. And y'all former squad has won 2 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. Back in who were they? Baltimore Colts or the Ravens?
Yeah, the Ravens.
The Ravens.
The Ravens have won 2 Super Bowls since
Still
leaving
one
Cleveland.
of your teams, man. Ohio does not need that much.
No.
You don't need 2 losing teams.
Cincinnati sucks too. Cincinnati fell off, man. What happened to them?
Hey, man, and I tell y'all this all the time. NFL and football in general is a hard place for African-American coaches to get jobs. They should have fired Marvin Lewis a long time ago.
Agreed.
I'm sorry. Like, it's the only thing. It's like I know
what it is, man. You don't produce those wins.
They ain't producing for it.
Like,
Just known for losing, right? It's cool.
Coming in second place in the Steelers.
yeah. Like, to me, the fact that Lovie Smith doesn't have an NFL job and Marvin Lewis has an NFL job is a problem to me. Lovie Smith was way better.
Where was he at before this? He was with Chicago for a minute.
And they fired him that year when he still won like 12 games.
Yeah.
And then they just fired him from Tampa Bay 2 years ago because they didn't want to lose the offensive coordinator because they thought he was a genius, so they fired him and promoted the offensive coordinator.
Who'd they pick up that? Didn't they pick up another African American coach?
No. But again, like I said, that's not what I'm dwelling on that fact. Is I don't want anybody thinking that I just want Marvin Lewis fired for no reason. Like, he's the second longest tenured coach in the NFL behind Bill Belichick.
That is true.
Really? 2 different records.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're 2
Right. He's
different.
the longest, okay.
Right.
And you're second because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one thing I'll give the NFC North, or the AFC North outside of the Browns is they don't like switching coaches. The Ravens like to keep their coach. Steelers like to keep their coach. Cincinnati is on that line. Marvin Lewis has been there since 2002. I think like there was a point when Dick LeBeau was the coach before Marvin Lewis. Yes. Think about how long ago Dick LeBeau was since
He was the last coach before him?
Yeah, Dick LeBeau was the head coach for like 3 years.
What else like 400 years?
Right. LeBeau's here for a long time.
So like, because we look at Dick LeBeau like just as us, and like we forget that he was coaching the rival.
Right.
Yeah, he said that in like some interview or something that he down. And like deep down, he's really a Browns fan or something like that.
Yeah, he's a Browns fan. He's from Cleveland.
And he's from Cleveland?
Yeah, he's from Cleveland.
Poor guy.
So,
poor guy.
So,
it's just like Cleveland. Your best person goes over to Pittsburgh, right? And they come back.
How long was he here? He was here for forever.
To like 2013 or 14.
Oh, he was older too.
Yeah. He's still
Yeah.
a defensive coordinator in the Titans right now.
Really?
He's probably
what, 70 years old?
Yeah. He's one of them, but like I feared for him, like I feared for Joe Paterno when I knew when Joe Paterno left the field, he was going to die.
Right. He was always getting hurt, falling over.
But he got back up, came back.
Once soon as you leave,
No one
retired, and that's what it's
Well, as soon as shit happened. So now it wasn't like a retirement.
And he ended up passing away, man.
Like a month after his last coaching meeting. I think it was like a month.
I'm not a Penn State fan anymore.
Oh, no, I'm not a Penn State fan. Not a Penn State fan at all. But I do tell people because of how conferences work in college. None of the teams are in the same conference.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a Pitt fan. If they play, Pitt needs to beat Penn State. They need to beat West Virginia.
Right.
When they're not
Every
playing,
year.
I would love to see all 3 teams go undefeated because they don't play each other.
Right.
I'd rather all 3 teams go undefeated.
We play Penn State now?
Yeah. Shout out, and the one thing I will shout out Penn State for doing, I think it's 2021 and 2022. They have both West Virginia and Pitt on their schedule.
Nice. And we should have been doing that. So when's the last time they played before last year? 90s?
2000 and the year before we got to the Heinz Field. So 2000 was the last year.
Okay.
And then West Virginia, obviously, it's been about 2011.
Yeah, we played them all the time. That's when they have Pat White. Who was
Slater?
Yes. Yeah. Where did he go? Where did he end up going? Houston?
He went to youth, but he disappeared. He was like, this is weird moment in time where these running backs disappeared. Slater, Turner from the Falcons, and then the law firm from Cincinnati. They all disappeared.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
all good, and then they all disappeared.
Michael Turner. I forgot Michael
And
Turner.
then Ben Jarvis Green Ellis disappeared.
Ben Jarvis Green
The
Ellis.
law firm, yep.
That was the best nickname.
Man.
Wow.
That was your boy.
I mean, I liked them.
Where did he go?
They all disappeared when they left them teams. They never came back to the NFL.
Huh.
No, I thought he went down to the Patriots.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think Slater went to the Patriots.
Same thing with Ben Jarvis Green.
Yeah, Ben Jarvis Green Ellis definitely was on the Patriots.
I don't know if he might have got a ring.
Him and like Lawrence Maroney.
I remember Lawrence Maroney.
He was supposed to be a beast out of Minnesota.
And then after Michael Turner, you know what I didn't understand? I'm like Michael Turner leaving the Falcons and never being seen again.
I never-
Because they picked up Steven Jackson. Which
Yeah,
was like
the same thing.
Yeah.
Which I like Steven Jackson. He holds most of the rushing records for the Rams. Like, he's
Right.
a dope dude to me.
Right.
But I didn't understand when the Falcons decided to let Michael Turner go to get Steven Jackson.
So it's like, let's get him the same guy.
Right, the exact same way. Just pound the ball, run
Yeah.
ground the pound,
A
man.
power back who was a little bit fast.
You think Steven Jackson got a lot of
He has
records?
most-
Really?
because
Over Marshall Falk?
Marshall Falk had the all-purpose records.
I knew
He was an
that.
all-purpose.
He was
guy.
a killer.
And because of the time, Steven Jackson broke most of Eric Dickerson records.
Greatest show on turf, man.
Like I said, I can't. I mean, we'll get into it, delve into my personal team and what's wrong at some point. Again, like I said, this is Pittsburgh town. And like I said, my Super Bowl pick is the Steelers.
Yeah.
It's just that we need everybody to stay clean. Like, hey, this is what I don't understand. Like, I've noticed this with other sports cities, at least about the sport they care about in the city.
Mm.
They police players. Like, I'm shocked. Like, in my eyes, whoever's selling Martellus Bennett tree needs to get punched in the face.
Right.
Like that's where I'm at this point. I'm like, if you are a real Steelers fan and you know this is Martavis Bryant trying to get this eighth off you, you need to tell him no.
He's buying eighties. You need to stop that.
Don't let him. No.
Like, that's exactly how I feel about this now. I think like I have this low key conspiracy that LeGarrette Blunt said Le'Veon on.
That's what it is.
Talk about Ross.
Yo.
One place you drink a conference.
Yeah, I'm like listen, Ross.
Ross, yeah, McKnight Road, yeah. Like, let's drive down McKnight Road with our windows down, smoking weed.
So I've always felt that way because he went out and got the Super Bowl with the Patriots.
Yeah, right after.
Right after the next season.
So
The next season, yeah.
What was that season?
Yeah.
Because he was on the team for the playoffs.
He was a killer last year too. He did
Oh.
good. He had a good season last year.
Hey man, I've been following Garrett Blunt since he said I'll do
Since he
that.
played.
Like Garrett Blunt is a interesting character with all the fights.
He's a big guy too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder what is that 6 something? He's got to be over 250.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a power back. He's an old school back.
Uh-huh.
I'm interested to see how he does with the Eagles this year.
He's with the Eagles. That's where he's at.
He's at the Eagles. He's supposed to be taking Ryan Mathews.
The Eagles are rough, man.
Right?
Oh.
Right.
Shut it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fuck this thing. Fuck mine, Ryan Matthews. You just the worst. You should have stopped.
Injury prone. He's
Injury
not ruined
prone.
my
You should have.
season.
You never had a chance to like fill in LT's back, like nothing.
Yep.
Just go. Just end.
That was the best thing the Chargers did was letting him go.
Oh yeah.
He was so injured. He ruined my fantasy football season.
Every year.
That's what he
Every
said.
year. Every year.
Literally every year.
And then, you know what? I can't even knock it because he ruined my fantasy last year with the Eagles. 'Cause I somehow got him on the Eagles. It wasn't working.
Who else did they have last year?
They did
Marcus Murray?
No, Darren
No,
Sproles.
Murray's on the Titans.
Darren
now.
Sproles was the best.
Yeah, Marlon Murray is killing it for the Titans last year.
Yeah,
Him
I
and Derrick Henry is a really good tag team.
feel like they're going to be all right this year.
I tell you,
Titans,
I
Mariota.
I've looked at the Steelers schedule and I go through and pick the games.
Mm.
There's only 4 teams on their entire schedule I think they'll lose to.
Who's that?
Patriots and Packers are on the schedule. I think those
Yes.
are losses that could happen.
Aaron Rodgers is.
They always
That's
seem
two goats right there, man.
right. They always lose one of them 2 games or the most.
Mhm.
I don't think Baltimore is good in any way, shape, or form. But
No.
actually, no. Baltimore's wide receivers have stepped up.
Okay.
They went out and got a couple wide
Who
receivers.
they get? Who they get?
Did Mike Wallace something?
Yeah, they have Mike Wallace, who's a secret. Like, yeah, like I said, it's one of those. Like,
He's a deep threat. That's it.
They got Jeremy Macklin.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I like
Jeremy
Macklin.
Macklin.
I like Macklin. He hurt himself going to Kansas City.
Isn't Danny Woodhead on there?
Danny Woodhead.
Oh,
he
he
went there
can be
too?
a receiver.
Danny Woodhead went to. I like Danny
He's
Woodhead.
like a Sproles.
Danny Woodhead is always like I like Danny Woodhead, but he's always been the same thing. He's your number 2 receiver.
Yes.
And if your number 1, I mean not receiver, he's your number 2 running back. If your number 1 gets hurt, your number 3 running back just became your starting running back.
Yeah.
They never put Danny Woodhead never moves from the number 2 spot on the
Yeah.
He's too small. He's literally just too small. He's good. He can do a lot of stuff across the field, but he can't just be pounding him
Right.
3 downs.
He's too low. Yeah. He's what, 5 foot what?
Yeah.
9?
Yeah, it's
5'10"?
something wild. But he's so good. Like, that's the thing. He's so good.
Catching
You gotta find
passes,
something way to do it.
He's West Coast offense.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's one of them few dudes that I like getting in fantasy that I know he's not starting.
He's gonna get you, but he's gonna get you points. He's gonna get you receptions. He's gonna get you yards out the backfield. He doesn't run much, not much.
Nah.
But anything over here, over there, nothing down there.
Right. So yeah, the Ravens are rebuilding. It's just they gave, and shout out to Joe Flacco for betting on himself, but they gave him so much money.
Flacco's terrible. Okay, I won't say
He's a
terrible.
deep threat. I like him as a deep ball passer. I'm not saying he's
That's
intermediate.
it. That's about it.
That's
He
it.
can't do nothing. Huh?
Hey man, I'm telling you all now, Elway doesn't win those 2 Super Bowls at the end, and we say the same thing about Elway. If he didn't win the 2 Super Bowls at the end of his career, people weren't talking about Elway too nicely before he won those last 2 Super Bowls.
Nah.
Jim
He
Kelly,
needed the Super Bowls.
yeah,
But I mean, he still would have been. It's like
He's like on Marino's status. Yep.
He would still been in even in them losses. He
I
was
agree.
Still,
I think we would have looked at it. I think we
but
would
it
have
was just an easy debate down
Right.
that one. So you just don't even
That's the
include him in the Marino.
vibes.
Now he's out of the Marino top because he has.
It's actually how I look at Eli now, because I think Phillip Rivers is better than Eli Manning. I've said
Yes.
that multiple times.
Okay. No.
And it's
I agree.
I mean,
A better quarterback.
yes, I don't think Phillip Rivers ever had the defense behind him. He's had the players, the
Never. He's
position
never had a
players.
team.
Yeah.
Never had that whole team.
But-
Eli did that.
Eli has. I don't knock Eli for that because Eli's gone out here, done the whole I can kill it in the playoffs thing. But Eli's also led the NFL in interceptions 3 times.
yeah.
3 times.
I don't even understand his whole how he gets down on the field. It's just I feel like it's luck.
I just like it's just something just happens and he's like I don't even know how that happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
Like that Dominic Hickson catch.
And then like up until, and this is why, like I said, like even though the Broncos' Jared Payton to me is the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl as that year, still good. But in that last season, that was the worst I've ever seen a quarterback play
Ever.
and win a Super Bowl.
Ever.
But I needed it to happen because I never want to hear another person tell me that Eli was ever better than Peyton.
Right. Ever. No,
But
no.
what if that like it's another one?
I don't care.
Nah.
That means that Odell Beckham Jr. and Brandon Marshall carried you.
As a really talented quarterback, Peyton is by
Yeah.
far.
Oh, absolutely.
By
I mean,
far.
it
Him and
just
Marvin Harrison
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Reggie Wayne back in the day.
I can't wait to have the Marvin. One day we're gonna have a whole Marvin Harrison conversation about the idea that nobody seems to know how gangster Marvin Harrison really is.
Right.
Like,
Had a murder charge and everything.
people talk about Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis was just a witness.
Yeah.
Marvin Lewis was out here
Doing it. He was involved.
It's something that people don't like talking about, but it's like Marvin Harrison's like a low key the football American gangster.
You would never think it.
Oh, he's a nice guy.
Quiet.
All his interviews are proper.
Right. Right. He's well spoken, but wait, it was outside of his barbershop.
Yeah. Because I remember
Where's he
when
from?
Philly.
Okay.
It's from Philly. They interviewed the guy that he shot shot at him on ESPN, and like 6 months later he got killed.
Nice.
oh,
If they replay it sometimes, when they replay him on ESPN, they do the RIP at the end of it.
No kidding. Marvin Harrison, the silent killer for real.
yeah.
For real.
One of the top 10 best wide receivers ever.
I agree. I'll put
Out
it
here
there
getting it.
that I've seen, yes.
And you know it's hard because I feel like anybody that was on those Colts teams, we have to like a hard time deciding how good they were.
Mhm.
Like even
That offense was crazy.
even Edrin James, you forget about him. He was
Beast.
dope. I feel like when he went to the Cardinals, everybody like gave up on him.
Yes. That's because the Cardinals were pooped down there. I don't even say pooped. When they got him and Kurt Warner, they went to the Super Bowl.
They went to the Super Bowl.
Against us. That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
But Edrin James, who else? Reggie Wayne,
Reggie
Harrison. Was Dallas Clark there?
That was Clark.
And
Joseph
was
Adai.
He was coming out of LSU.
Oh no, you know who the favorite was? Bradshaw.
What's his name? Ahmad Bradshaw.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
Mr. Broken Foot.
Mr. I swindled half my fantasy football league on
Yeah.
one time.
Dude, I had a guy in my fantasy football league draft him second round.
Oh.
Second round. And then
He
he
was
broke
like-
his foot that year.
He was like Arian Foster before Arian Foster. Like he was producing, but you had to know at some point in your season he was going to lose.
Oh no, man. Arian Foster was a beast.
But you knew, like you could draft Arian Foster, and at some point
He's gonna get hurt.
you go get hurt.
Did you have a risk with that?
Oh, he had a couple years where he was killing it. He won me a couple championships, like at least 2.
Speaking of that, people don't know because I like the changing. I love free agency.
Right.
Jamal
Right.
Charles, Broncos.
Broncos.
He's on the
What was
Broncos.
he doing? But is he?
I don't know if he's
quarterback.
starting. He's a quarterback.
Same dude from last year.
It's a battle between Paxton Lynch and Trevor Simeon.
Simeon.
Even though I think they need to give Paxton
Lynch is what, 6 foot?
Like 6'5".
Really?
He might be 6'4".
He's a big boy, man.
But he was one of the running core. He's like a Ben type. He's a big running core.
Right. He's out of Memphis?
Yeah,
Memphis. I like him. He's big. That's tall. That helps a lot.
So like size wise, he reminds me of Ben and McNabb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about his skills because I don't lie to people. Like, I love college football. I'm not out here watching American Conference football.
Right. I don't think anybody is. If you really were getting
like I'm out here wondering like who was out here scouting Blake Bortles from UCF.
He was beast.
And I know they went to that the bowl game that year that was pretty big, but it's just like
that was it. That was it. And then he went to Jacksonville, had an all right freshman campaign, and
they got, you know what kills me? They got 2 good wide receivers. They got a good running back. And they're telling me he's throwing 5 interceptions in training.
Right. In a training camp. You're not even playing against other quarterbacks. You're playing against your own.
The Jacksonville. Let's be honest.
I'll sway.
The thing is, people forget that Coughlin had Jacksonville going to the AFC Championship game the second year they were a team.
Yep.
And then it went downhill from there.
Yep.
No.
Tom Coughlin.
Like, I like Alex Hearns and Alan Hearns and
Allen Robinson.
Alan Robinson.
Yeah.
I like them dudes.
I like Robinson.
They just dropped Denard Robinson. That hurts me a little bit because I was hoping he'd make it. I knew he wasn't great.
He was
he was okay.
He was okay at several positions. He never did one thing very, very well.
Like, because I had, up until I got an Xbox One like 12 months ago, I had that NCAA with him on the cover, and I was playing it faithfully until 2017.
What year was that?
It was 2014.
NCAA.
It was the last one.
Oh, man, I haven't played NCAA since like Carson Palmer was on the front. Like PlayStation 2.
So like Denard, and I just like Denard Robinson in college. I don't like Michigan. I've never been a Michigan fan.
Me neither.
But they always got that player like Denard Robinson. I like Peppers last year.
Peppers was a beast.
So
what was he, linebacker?
He played. I think he's. I don't know.
He did it all.
He played every position. He had a passing touchdown last year.
No,
yes, he did.
I don't know.
He had a receiving touchdown.
He did it all.
Interception return, and he kick return.
I was going to say he definitely kick return too.
So
kick return or punt return.
He probably
say both. Yeah, I would say both.
Like he was doing it all. Like when you played on like the Blitz League video games when they like play both sides of the ball, he was really doing that.
Right. like Deion Sanders type.
Yeah, and because I have a friend who's a big Michigan fan. Like we watched the draft together.
Charles Woodson was a beast from Michigan.
Yes,
he was. He was doing that too.
He's the last person.
He's the original Michigan to do that one.
Yeah, but people were pissed because he went to the Browns.
Yeah.
To me, that's the one thing about the Browns. I've been telling people for 3 or 4 years, the Browns defense is actually nice.
Yes.
I can't tell y'all anything about the offense.
To an extent.
Yeah, secondary is pretty decent.
Hayden's top 5 corner.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for Hayden, actually.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that offensive lineman. Like, how do the NFL pick offensive linemen for Pro Bowls? There's a Pro Bowl lineman.
Joe Thomas.
Yeah,
he's a center every year. Wait, is he left
or
still
there?
He's a center. He might be a guard.
I want to say he's a guard.
Like he's like carrying the whole entire team, like
for the last 8 years, 7 years. It's been a long time. He's coming out of Wisconsin. That's the only thing Wisconsin's good for.
Oh, Wisconsin
lineman, straight lineman.
Because Alvarez is a great, he's who's the athletic director now, but he's one of the most underrated coaches in college history from what he was doing with the team back in the 90s up till now. As the athletic director.
Wisconsin been good for since I don't know.
It's not because I would never want to play there, man.
Yeah. It's like their basketball team. I don't know. They just play team ball. There's no superstars.
Yeah, remember when the coach, I forget his name, he was like the black coach that came out on the motorcycle and
crashed the bike. He's gonna show off and then bust.
He had like a trench coat on or something.
Yeah, you get caught in the wheel and shit. Goofball.
But yeah, did you see the rating? We talked about the ratings about Pitt's 38th in the AP poll.
Really?
Penn State 6th, and then they play Oklahoma State 3rd.
Penn State was nice last year.
Yeah.
Pitt, they're shaky, man. Tom Savage, that was our last real NFL ready player, I believe.
Well, yeah, because I still think Connor needs some refinement.
Yeah,
that's why I'm worried.
Did he just get hurt? Or so he went off the field in training camp?
Breaking news. I did not know that.
I read somewhere on Facebook that he got.
I know that
or something.
The only person I know for sure is I know Shepard got carried off the field for the Giants.
There's a couple people that just got hurt. I'm in a couple fantasy groups online, and If I really wanted to go in my phone and read these things, you'd be like, wow, they're dropping like flies.
Oh, that's how it is. That's why I be pushing fantasy draft back as far as
because I'm
Right.
not gonna draft somebody then they're out for the whole year.
My man didn't have a paper last year, man. Drafted him like a second or third round. He
Oh,
didn't play
yeah.
until week.
done with Tyler Eckert. If you want to tell me
8,
he's the next Gronk or something, I'm done.
Nah, he's injury prone too. That's another one.
Like, that is-
Gronk's injury prone.
Oh, Gronk. I used to draft him like real
I
high.
picked him in the first round last year.
Oh.
Picture this. I think I had the turnaround for the snake draft.
Yeah. That's what I went.
My first 2 picks were Adrian Peterson and Robert Cousins.
Oh, yo.
That was last year?
Yeah, it was last year.
Last year, mine was, I had the 10th pick. Like you said, snake wraparound. I had Gronk, then thank God Ezekiel Elliott would then come around. That saved my life. Made it to the championship, still took the L, but we split the pot.
Yeah, that was my first 2 picks. I wasted 2 picks immediately.
Uh-huh.
Like, and I was like, and to me, those were safe picks to me.
You had faith in AP last year? I don't think I'll ever draft him again. I drafted him in one of my leagues.
Because we're moving so close to this dual system, and I do think that Ingram's still going to get
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know.
stuff.
You can't ground and pound both of them.
And you can't ground and pound on the Saints.
Right, that's true. You got Drew Brees slinging the ball, 30
But
times
they always
a
have
game?
like 3 running backs, always
Yeah,
running.
because I used to like Pierre Thomas.
Forever.
Like Pierre Thomas,
Raheem
Harris,
Sproles, and Ingram. Yeah. you run this.
Man.
Like, it's like I've always liked the running backs they had. I take that back. I wasn't a big Ingram fan.
No,
But, I don't trust Alabama running backs anymore.
Ingram and Trent Richardson, they were something else.
Man, I traded
In college.
Yeah, college. Like Derrick Henry has changed that for me, but he's still the backup in Tennessee.
At Starboard, they got, he's a big boy, man. He's just like Henry, same person.
Then I do like the big. A lot of people don't look at this as big as I do, but the Packers got a tight end for the first time since Jermichael Finley. Jermichael Finley was
What
on
happened to him?
that spinal cord neck.
He was a beast.
He had like a neck injury, and they never really cleared him to play football.
Who they got now?
They picked up Martellus Bennett.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, people aren't talking about him. Like, they won the Super Bowl with Jermichael Finley.
Right.
They've been having issues getting through the playoffs, even though that catch with Kendricks last year was dope.
Right.
It seems like I think
Or Richard
Aaron
Rodgers.
Richard Rodgers, yeah. I think that a good tight end would help the Packers move forward because their division isn't their problem.
Right. No, it's staying healthy. Jordy Nelson always hurt. Randall Cobb can't do it all. We've seen that.
I picked Randall Cobb the year Jordy Nelson got hurt, thinking that Randall Cobb was going to ascend.
Mm-hmm.
Randall Cobb was
2
a number
years
2.
ago. 2
Randall
years
Cobb was a
ago.
number 2.
Yes, for sure. For
Like,
sure.
He was a player 2 ass nigga. He was Luigi.
He is definitely Luigi. I'll give it.
And honestly, Steven Adams might surpass him as number 2 this year. Devontae shit.
Steven Adams.
Steven Adams, OKC
Center
center.
/ wide
But yeah,
receiver.
Devontae Adams will probably pass him this year. I don't know. Oh, you hear about Ty Montgomery? He's going to keep his number and play running back.
You should. Hey, that was crazy last year. That was unreal.
What's his? I can say it. Is it number 88?
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to keep his number and be 88 as
Yes.
running back.
Hey, I'm not mad about it. Keep it, dude.
Hey, man.
If that's what you want to wear.
Hey man, I remember playing football for
produce.
schools. If you change your position, they made you change your number.
That's true.
So I was shocked when they said they was going to let him. Hey, remember Reggie Bush when he wanted to keep his number 5?
Yeah, 20, went to 25.
So
That was my dude. That was my guy. I love that USC team.
We looked up the stats about a month or 2 ago, just having a conversation.
Uh-huh.
Reggie Bush's NFL stats are confusing as hell. So
Right.
he has like 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons and then 2 more seasons that are 1,000 all-purpose yards,
Right.
but they're spread out.
Right.
And they're all between
Week
like the
5.
Saints, the Dolphins, and the Lions. I forgot that he played for the 49ers. Like, it's a weird thing
He did play for the 49ers for what, like a year?
for like a year.
Was he done? He's done.
He might.
Where's he at? Is he at Detroit?
I don't know if he's still in Detroit. Because I stopped. I can't draft. I can't pick players from Detroit anymore.
Ever. Ever.
Like somebody tried to tell me.
Stafford, that's probably your best
Yeah,
bet.
Stafford.
Yeah, the kicker. No, I said no.
The kicker.
You can get Prater. Prater's the only one you can get off the team that's going to give you consistent points.
Kicking in the door, man.
So because somebody was bringing up Abdullah to me the other day to run it back.
Amir Abdullah, nope. I don't even remember him in college, Nebraska.
There's a couple people I don't remember in college. And like
Jay Ajayi.
I was about to say Jay Ajayi. I don't remember Jay Ajayi in college at all.
Where did he even go?
We don't look that up. Because like you know what kills me about that is like I don't remember Kevin Smith, the guy that broke OJ's record at UCF a couple years ago.
Okay.
I have no clue where he went.
Yeah.
Troy Smith. You won a Heisman and you disappeared.
Chris Johnson was a BC when he went to UCF.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson had 2 good years in the NFL.
Destroyed me after that. I drafted my very first year playing fantasy, like 4 or 5 years ago. I drafted Chris Johnson first.
Yeah.
That was the
How'd that
best
work
decision I
out?
ever made.
Oh.
He did have that little resurgence like 2 years ago with the Cardinals, where you could have had him as like your flex.
Yes. Yeah. That was it though.
Yeah.
Was it 2 years ago?
It was like 2 or 3 years ago because they had to get rid of whoever the running back was. It was like Andre Ellington.
Oh, yeah.
Andre Ellington.
That's another one. Where was he from? Cal, I want to say. Something like that.
Then like also because we're on a fantasy thing, my big fantasy things, or at least in football, I don't trust quarterbacks that are drafted from USC or Notre Dame.
Agreed.
Liners.
Liners. Except Carson Palmer.
But like Carson Palmer is like
Years
the
ago.
epiphany. Like, and I feel bad. I feel like I always felt bad for Carson Palmer because I remember watching the game when he scored a touchdown on that play, and he hurt his arm, and that was it.
Yeah. Done. Chemo messed him up. Ever since then.
Speaking of this, is like I'm so happy we're having this conversation. Do you remember when Ryan Clark killed Pat White?
Killed him. He broke his jaw.
He went to play baseball after that.
Bro.
Yeah, he went to play baseball after that. He went to the minors after that.
He's so much.
Because it was a playoff game. It was a playoff game. After that playoff game, he never came back. I remember Mike Tomlin pointing at the ground as soon as he got hit on the sideline, telling him to come and get this.
He's dead. Come get him. Come get him. Pat White.
Like I said, I show love to the Steelers. Like I said, I think it's the best run organization in football. I cannot say that about my team, the Rams, because my Rams owner is shady as fuck. If you look up how
Rams fan, guys. Rams.
Like I said, look how Stan Kroenke moved the team from St. Louis to Los Angeles, and you'll see why I think he's the shadiest person.
Aren't the Chargers in?
Yeah, they're playing in the StubHub Center. The
sharing?
No. It's gonna be like the Jets-Giants situation when the stadium gets finished. The Rams are gonna own the stadium.
Okay.
The Chargers will get some profit out of it in some way.
Okay.
But right now, the Chargers are playing in the smallest stadium for any NFL team to host a game in since like 1978.
Makes sense.
It's a 28,000 seat stadium. It's
like a couple bleachers. A couple bleachers, maybe like a food truck.
Right.
The Vikings were playing in the college stadium last week.
Well, that's a high school stadium, man.
That's where they're at.
Right? Woodland Hills got a bigger field than that one.
So yeah, like they're playing. The Rams are in the Coliseum. That's 100,000 seats. We cool.
Yes.
But yeah, because the Rose Bowl wouldn't let the Chargers play there, and the only other places was either try to get the Dodgers or Anaheim to convert their stadium for 4 years to let them play there, or to go to the soccer field that's in Orange County.
It was not trying to have them. That's terrible.
They shouldn't have moved in the first place.
I agree. San Diego, they should have just stayed there.
Like out of all the teams that were up to move, the team that I didn't think should have moved the most was San Diego.
Right.
Like I understood that to me, the Rams were the first team that ever moved to Los Angeles originally. They were there before the Lakers and the Dodgers, so I understood the relevance. Oakland was never going to build.
I was about to say, what about Oakland?
They were never going to build a stadium.
Where'd they go? Did they stay?
They're going to Las Vegas. But they were never. Yeah, we were talking. We're going to go back to that. We was talking about the Black Knights and Oakland a little earlier in the first segment about the Oakland will be fine moving to Las Vegas because their fans travel.
Right.
The Black Knights being a brand new team.
Were they? Who's the Black Man?
Was the hockey team?
Okay.
Only one expansion.
They're going to have a problem because they are an expansion team and they're going to be an away game every night because it's Vegas.
Right.
Well, again, I think Oakland fans, because I've been talking to people from California, driving to Vegas from Los Angeles is only 2 hours.
Yes.
Vegas to San Francisco, I think, is only like 6.
Yeah.
So even the 2 communities that rep Oakland the hardest are going to go.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the games.
Las Vegas is your sports betting hub. Yeah.
He's over here talking about point shaving for the hockey team.
You're gonna see a lot of missed slap shots out there. All it needs is empty goal. What the hell?
We'll be all right.
A lot of young guys on the set.
Black Knights.
Like, this should be
But every game is
Vegas dry.
But I messed that up. It's the Golden Knights.
The Golden
Yeah,
Knights.
it's Golden Knights. That was my fault. Black Knights is a UFC football team.
Yeah.
Again, I have all this knowledge. I mix it up. Like I said, UFC Black Knights is the one over for the college team that Blake Bortles came from.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's UCF.
And they had a problem because they like a small university tried to sue them at first because I guess there's like a Chatham type of university that has their school.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
Their
name.
school this big.
Yeah, and their name is the Golden Knights.
That's terrible.
So they had the problem with that at first.
University versus what? State college, or not even state college, but community college down there. Chatham. Black Knights or Golden Knights or
Yeah, I had this issue with Vegas. And honestly, the other thing with Vegas is I can name a lot of cities in both football and basketball or any of these sports that deserve talent. Seattle needs their basketball team back.
I agree.
That's a guarantee. Like basketball didn't go to Vegas, but I'm just saying there are cities that could do that. Mm-hmm. We could get a basketball team. I do understand that Seattle deserves a basketball team first.
Right. I like Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, Rashard Lewis.
I think if we were gonna move teams, like we were gonna move out of Oakland, y'all could go to Portland.
Yeah.
Like
I'm not mad. Portland.
I don't know.
Portland's rough, man. I think they're cursed. Just can't get out. They just can't do it. Man.
Like the basketball team got one of the best nicknames on the planet. They cannot make it by. Rip City is one of the best.
That's hard. Even them jerseys that say Rip City, those are cool as hell.
And everybody trying to copy it.
Out the ass.
Right. Hell yeah.
Everybody's been trying to copy it ever since.
I like Portland. I like Lillard. That's one of my favorite players.
You know, I think it helped that Aldridge left because I feel like we figured out that Aldridge is not the Super Bowl superstar they thought he was.
No. He just expands the floor. He could shoot. He could shoot that little 15-footer from right outside the paint. Right down on the baseline. That's his shot right there.
Oh, because we were talking about Brooklyn earlier, and I was going to tell y'all why I called Joe Johnson the American Dream. But he's here again. Joe Johnson, the American Dream, or my other favorite nickname, because nobody was ever supposed to call him this to his face, and they started calling him to his face. ISO Joe.
ISO Joe.
He's the king of isolation, though. If you start boxing, backing down, he's making that
big
too.
boy.
But it wasn't. But that was not supposed to be his like. They were calling him that in secret at first because it wasn't supposed to be something that was cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was the old basketball ways. Like he's like the last of the Larry Johnsons and I'm actually gonna back you in and take time to
he's a small forward.
Now it's like everybody got to cross you. If y'all don't cross you, I'll stay there until I cross you. Back someone down, hit you or whatever.
And the build of players nowadays is crazy.
Yeah, but he was killing it out there with Utah.
Yeah,
this year. This playoff. He was one of the highlights of the playoffs for the early rounds.
Right. Carrying Utah at 34, 35?
Yeah.
He's old, man.
He was out there killing it.
14.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Him and Vince Carter.
Utah.
Yeah, it was 3.
Oh, how you feel about Vince Carter trying to get to the Warriors?
I love Vince Carter. I got a special place in my heart for Vince Carter in the 2000 dunk contest.
Yeah, I was saying.
I got candid a job for watching the 2000 dunk contest and him sticking his arm in the ring. And it was like, yeah, you
go. He's coming back to play.
He's 38.
I'm sorry.
37, 38, something like that.
I think he's the oldest active player in the NBA. I know that.
Yeah.
You go to a team like that, you wouldn't have to really work that hard. So
he's a shooter now too.
Yeah, he's transformed. That's what kills me about people rating Vince Carter. And I understand that he didn't have the playoff implications that the other players would, but he's one of the only dudes that physically just transformed his whole game.
Right.
He was dunking on dudes.
He's a dunker.
And now he's out here purely making threes. He had a game winner for Memphis a year ago.
Yeah, he was at Memphis last year.
Yeah.
He's a good. I like Vince Carter.
You're not gonna see someone like Blake or Jordan do something like that, where be able to dunk, the down low alley hoop guy to actually be a skilled player.
Right. Agreed.
That's all he can do.
Blake did step up his jump shot game though. I will give him that.
He's definitely That's why I'm Blake probably should never resign with the Clippers. I'm bro, DeAndre Jordan ain't practicing in the gym like he needs to be.
No.
Because they're trying to change the game for free throws. I'm
Hack-a-Shack, man.
Practice.
Hack-a-Shack right here.
Hack-a-Shack. Originator.
Right, the original.
Game went from 60 minutes to 2.5 hours.
Watching the 7-footer free throws.
4 minutes of fouling.
20 free throws a game. Made 5. Not even. How do you do that?
And that's my issue with him, Andre Drummond. Because I think Andre Drummond's could be dope.
Yeah, him, Whiteside, I like them.
Oh, I love Whiteside.
Gobert.
You know what the issue with Whiteside is? His double-doubles don't translate to wins.
No, because it's not points. It's blocks and rebounds. He scores, though. He does score.
He does score. But it's just he doesn't get the win shares.
No.
Whereas, I feel like, it's the same thing with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is averaging amazing stats, but he's not getting anywhere.
I compare him and Karl Anthony Towns together. I like them.
Yes.
Those two are unreal.
Power
forward center, but
I am interested to see what the worst nickname team in the NBA is going to do. Pelicans terrible.
They don't have no guard. Who's their guards? Drew Holiday. That's it.
And I think he just got hurt. I think I don't know how you get hurt and there's not even really no training camp yet.
Right? There's nothing. What was you doing? What was you doing in the off season? Right? Right?
Them baller brands.
Right? Oh, God. Well, you want to get started on the baller brands?
Oh, did you hear Brandon Knight? I think signed to one like a big deal in China.
Brandon Knight?
Yeah, he's going to China.
Brandon.
So I'm gonna eat that. Like, you see
He
him
done
think about
got
it, like,
crossed up, jammed on. He's probably been one of the worst Kentucky guards to be all hyped in college and then come to the league and do what? Nothing. Market him.
You're right. 'Cause I thought Brandon Knight was dope. Was he on the Bucks at first?
Who? Brandon Knight?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on the Bucks.
He was on that. He went to the Sun. He's on the Suns now, I believe. Or no, well, he's.
I thought he was on the Knicks. For a little bit. I thought he was like backing up Brandon Knight.
lost
Are you talking about Brandon Jennings? Brandon Jennings was on the
No, but Brandon Knight went to the left. Yeah, you're right. Brandon Jennings was on the Knicks.
Yeah. Brandon Knight was on the Suns.
Yeah.
Sucking it
But
up.
Jennings I thought Jennings was gonna be better too.
Yeah, he was hyped out of high school. Hyped. He was like OJ Mayo type.
But how you feeling about the next chapter of Derrick Rose in Cleveland?
It hurts my heart because I am a LeBron hater to the core. I do not like LeBron.
Probably should have
Like-
how we started this.
Right here, it hurts LeBron. I hate him. I don't like him. I don't like how he went to Miami. He started this AAU team. Let's stack. This is why we have Golden State. Who's going to win the next, 2-3 championships if they all stay? That's unreal. It's not even fun to watch.
And you're right, because I don't consider them the first super team. But how they build the team
Right.
is different.
I don't
Celtics
like
did their
that.
shit with like legitimate trades and balance and checks and stuff.
Right.
And I don't think
everybody was kind of like in the tail end of their careers. Not
Yeah.
I mean, they still had
Well,
good
yeah,
years, but
there's
it's
also
like
the other thing
it
was,
wasn't
like-
prime
Right.
trading over for everything.
Well,
Right.
it's also, and it's not like NBA isn't like this, but it's also somewhat like insider trade secrets where like I know that all three of these dudes, they might not have known the team that they were going to go to.
They knew they were going to.
They knew they were going to play against.
Exactly.
So that's where I was confused at. Like with Paul Pierce, he was already on the Celtics.
Mhm.
They needed to do something with KG.
Right.
And Ray Allen. And then they drafted Rondo. So we always forget they drafted him.
Rondo was unreal. Rondo is one of my favorite point guards.
You were about to say something about
He
you.
was- Yeah, what did I say?
It's like because it goes into my Durant, I'm like, that's my dude. So like,
I'm not mad at
I was
Durant.
glad Durant didn't stick around to get it. Oh no, I'll take that back.
Hey man,
The
kills
way
me.
he left was wrong. That's my dude. That's like since he was
I
with
don't have any problem.
Seattle, like I'm the root for like me. My whole little motto is I root for the skinny dude.
Yeah.
All
Oh, skinny
the
dude.
medium Chris Rock, Hooper, Kevin Durant. Like I'm just
Right.
so I was cool with wherever he went.
Right.
It was kind of like foul. Like
I
I thought OKC had one more year.
I like them.
My-
That team was unreal.
My two issues with Durant. My only issue with Durant leaving was I feel like you could at least told Westbrook. He could have cussed you out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was
Like,
like, that's my boy. So it's like
you could have hung up the phone as soon as he said, "Motherfucker, what?" You could have just hung up.
You think Westbrook didn't know? Nothing?
I don't think they ever had a conversation.
no, you don't just come up with that out of nowhere. Like, I think it was a complete. I'm just out.
Right.
Hey, y'all knew he may have said something that you didn't take to heart, or you
Right.
just like, man, whatever. You ain't gonna
Better do it this
But he
year.
said it something
Let
like
me
he
know.
said it.
And then
Yeah,
somebody on ESPN tried to give him a nickname that was the coolest nickname ever, and he shot it down.
What's that?
Slim Reaper.
Slim Reaper?
They
I
wanted
like
to call him
that.
Slim Reaper, and he's like, he didn't like the nickname.
Was he Durantula?
Yeah, he goes by Durant shit.
You don't want to slim in there, man. It's like it reminds you too much. So he can't get no upper body weight. Like, it reminds him all the time. Like, yeah, I'm still
He is
slim.
he's on the 7 foot. How tall is he? 6'10"?
He's like, no, because I've noticed they say he's that, but he's taller than one of the centers. Because I saw the All-Star game one year, and then like I forget who the center was, but the center is put up as 7 foot,
Yeah.
and Durant's put up as a lower size than him, and they were standing next to each other, and Durant was taller than him.
No kidding.
Wait, what?
Kevin Durant, I think, is 7 foot, and he's just lying about his height.
His archetype, man, he's unreal. That's like a 2K archetype type deal. Like 6'10", shoots the three, can dribble, does it all.
Dude, like that's my dude. Like,
He's unreal. He is unreal.
and the only thing that's going to tarnish be on there is the fact that he left in the like that's the
And he
only
went
thing
to
that
his
you
Like,
can
like, what do we look out after Kobe left? What is the criteria of legends in this era? 'Cause LeBron has changed it.
Yeah,
Like that's my
Yeah.
thing. Like Paul Pierce and Kobe were the last ones that I'm like they were
stayed with their teams.
right. And now we're looking at LeBron, Paul George, Chris Paul, and Durant as the next guys leaving. Melo technically, but I have a scored relationship with Melo just because I have an issue Melo was like always like up until like went to the Knicks and got skinny. He was like the Babe Ruth, the chubby dude that was balling.
Right.
But he wasn't doing anything.
Oh, so that was like your pick?
No, that was
okay. I already say.
He's with the skinny guys.
No, I
thought he was also.
I was a Kobe fan. I don't actually like.
Yeah.
I was a Kobe fan. I was a big Kobe fan. I was a Shaq fan. The reason I was a Lakers fan was the 3D.
Yeah.
So
that was your favorite. Kobe's your favorite player.
Yeah.
After Jordan.
No, Jordan's the GOAT. But I didn't.
Obviously, yeah.
I didn't grow up watching
after Jordan era.
Yeah, I didn't grow up watching in the 90s. I'm named after Michael Jordan, technically.
Yeah.
But I am. I did not grow. I just know I didn't watch basketball that heavy. I think I saw the last championship was the one I can remember and say I remember watching.
I was a Suns fan at the time.
I remember the last.
I like Jordan, but I was a Barkley.
Yeah.
And the
KJ.
And that's the thing. My attitude makes me believe that if I was born in '83 instead of '93, that I probably would have robbed with Barkley.
He was a young buck, man.
Like that's my thing. It's like I felt like I would have robbed with Barkley. This is not like that.
Barkley was nice.
That was my squad for a minute.
They were nice in the early '90s, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because of the era I grew up watching, Kobe was my dude. So was Shaq, but Kobe was my dude.
Iverson was my favorite player.
But is it just the era? Is it just?
I just got the best interview.
Changing the two teams, like you had the duo era, to where you had
Scotty
the best.
Mike,
everybody had
John
a duo.
Stockton.
Everybody had a duo. Yep. And then it went to like a person who would stay on your team all the way to the end,
right?
And just ride it out with team. And now we just in the
ring chasing
championships,
right?
Like it's just the instant
ring chasing.
Like so, for the next 4 years, that'll go down. Then it'll go back to something else. Like
I hope it goes.
Well, no, because we have the Shining Hope. The Shining Hope is always going to be Spurs as long as Pop is there.
Yes.
And
it's just like
and Miami. I count Miami, even though they got the title with the quick grip. Yeah. I believe Pat Riley can still go back and do the old school.
See, now that's more coaches. I think those are those teams that are still those old school.
Ginobili's been there.
Down coaches. Like
how old is Ginobili, man? Because he's had that hairline. I'll say that hairline making him look like he's 40.
He always thinking about the middle of the back of his head.
Like he's been around how long?
He's
should have an accent.
The Dirk should have an accent.
He should be twanged out by now. Like.
I was watching a couple of videos whenever he made the All-Star team. He had long hair and all this. I'm like, what the hell was this?
Now you look like my college professor.
Yeah, right. He got a big donut in the middle of the back of his head.
Spurs is the retirement team. You go there, you get,
they're like the Patriots.
You get your last commentators and everybody talking about you good for that last year.
Right.
That's your thing.
That's it. Yeah. Right. I believe that.
And the young bucks kind of run you out the gym like it's the old folks stadium.
Right.
It's always been.
They got a couple of young bulls. That DeJounte Murray, he did a couple things in the playoffs.
Also, I think, honest to God, they were up by 20 on Golden State before Leonard went down. We forget about this.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was up by 20.
Durant took over that game, man.
Yeah, but like that's
over.
That's a stay here or Leonard goes somewhere. Like, is it?
There's two teams that were in the playoffs last year that people don't want to give the right that they might have had a chance something for the two teams, the Cavaliers and the Warriors, the Spurs before Leonard got hurt. And I think if they would have the Wizards would have pulled it out in Game 7, I think they would have at least gotten 2 against the Cavaliers.
Wizards? They don't have no bench.
I
love John Wall. That's one of my favorite players, John Wall. But they have no bench. None. Who comes?
If you want to playoffs and you want to change it, you need a bench.
Who comes off their bench? Seriously.
But that was the whole East. Like you think about every team in the East not named the Cavaliers. Because that was a problem with Boston. I mean, outside of like Marcus Smart, which Marcus Smart.
That's about it.
Yeah. And the only reason Marcus Smart is Marcus Smart. Yeah. But Marcus Smart's one of the dirtiest players in the NBA. So
he been like that. Straight. Didn't he punch somebody in college too?
Yeah. Yeah. He gave somebody like a whole piece.
Yeah. An old head too.
But yeah, that's like I can say that about every team in the East when it comes to what's wrong with them. Toronto, even I think they need to blow Toronto. Well, Toronto got 2 stars that can't shoot past the jump shot in the like the 12-foot jumper. Inside the
3-point line, they're all right. Outside, terrible.
So like I don't know how Toronto's ever gonna make it, even though they picked up Ibaka.
I don't know. He ain't been the same since Oklahoma.
Once it broke up, like that's what they had that squad.
Also, that's why I don't blame Durant. Y'all traded away. No, Harden was early. They traded away Ibaka. Is right like 2 weeks before Durant left. Ibaka was gone.
Yep.
Why am I supposed to say?
Right.
Y'all got rid of
Westbrook, who's a gunner.
So no, I keep on seeing those pictures when they lost in the finals and they had all 3, and it was just like it was just because y'all was before y'all prime.
Right.
I was
like 2 more years. They'd have been unreal.
So
Harden now,
so
he's probably my favorite player right now.
Okay.
Right now, his step back is unreal. He played point guard last year. Average, damn near triple
That's
double.
what kills me about Chris Paul going to the Rockets. I'm like, I'm moving back to point, or you're moving him back to shooting guard. And he was out here getting. If
He's working the ball.
Russell Westbrook had a triple double because he still
has to.
Right. He was out here like if Harden had to. I feel like at a point guard he could get triple doubles.
Right.
And this is like and now he's going back to being the other dude. And I'm like, Chris Paul's Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I had never looked at it this way just because I always look at Chris Paul as that dude who don't make it out the second round of the playoffs.
Right.
But NBA fans, again, NBA is like my third sport, so I don't have the insight to say this.
What's your first two?
Football, and then people know I'm a huge NASCAR fan. But that's not something that's going to be hitting on the radio. It's not a radio topic.
Why not? Skyline.
Yeah, because I
J Skyline.
But with the NBA, it's like a lot of people have been coming up recently saying that Chris Paul's a top 5 point guard all time. I don't know about that.
No, I won't say that. I will not say that.
I won't say that yet, but people are saying that. And I'm like, well, it's just like Magic, Kidd, Nash, which Nash's legacy is going to be weird for a lot of people, but Nash.
I like Nash.
Penny.
Peyton.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
GP.
Yeah. So, like, Isaiah, people don't like talking about Isaiah, but Isaiah's up there for me, the original Isaiah.
The
original Isaiah.
That boy Isaiah.
That
would be my team, too. Like,
yeah.
Detroit, everywhere Rasheed Wallace was at this point, that was my squad, too, because he wore Air Force. It was just like, the only hooper was his hands up Air Force with the strap.
Yeah. He even had his own Air Forces.
I was like, that was so dope. I could get there for $7.
Right.
So that was my squad.
So yeah, like we just named 5 that I would say above Chris Paul immediately.
Yes.
And then Chris Paul, I don't even know if he's the best in the NBA now.
When he shoots, he's like sound if he goes into his whole attitude and
he knows how to run a team.
Yeah, he's the best floor general.
Yes.
I say floor general where you have to listen to what he's telling you to do. Yes. Now, because of what we did with Steph Curry, half of the point guard now, and then the Kyrie half the point guard now, where both of these dudes might not get any assists.
Right. But they're going to score a bunch of points.
But they're doing 2 different things. Curry's out here unconsciously
jacking up threes.
And Curry can run
making them.
And Curry can split your defense.
Yes.
Like it's
he brings your defense out. Yeah, he definitely can move. He can move.
It's like the 3 without needing on the picks.
Right.
Like, you know, back Ray Allen on him, you said, do
run around
other picks. Like he's with the ball and can still get that. You know,
he'll get it up. His shot release is so quick it don't even matter. He's unreal. That's unreal.
And because of the team, I still think John Wall might be the best. It's just that he don't have a team that got the supporting cast.
What's his assist look like?
I think he's out. I mean, I know
he's taller.
He is taller. He's taller than people think he is. I used to think he was like 6'2". He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
I
met him in New York when I just went up there. That was pretty cool. He's not as tall as you think he is.
Yeah.
I
was like, 'cause I used to think Steph was shorter than somebody told me he was 6'2", and I was like, oh, he's taller than me.
Yeah. And you see him, I don't know. He might be he looks small on court.
Yeah, he looks small on court.
Compared to like how tall is Klay Thompson? He looks like a giant. 6'4".
6'4".
That's pretty tall.
He don't seem like he's that tall.
No.
He don't play like he's that tall at all.
He shoots outside.
And his shooting is great. Like, so it seems like he would be a shorter guy, right? For the defense.
Low center guy.
That's why they
defense.
That's why Klay always guards whoever Steph's supposed to guard.
Which is usually a point guard.
Right. That's why I would love to see the Steph Curry or the Golden State Boston matchup. Because it seems like neither of these dudes could guard.
Isaiah Thomas, who's 5'8".
They were putting Isaiah Thomas in the corner on defense.
Okay.
Because he can't play defense. He's just too small.
Yeah, he's too little. That's like Jimmer Fredette somehow. I
thought Jimmer was going to be dope.
Jimmer was unreal at BYU.
BYU's this weird school too, man. But I thought that he was going to be dope. I was all up for the 3-point shot. When he went to the Bulls, I thought it was hidden.
He had the green light in college.
Oh, he really
the ultimate green. Him and JJ Redick. Hate Duke also. But JJ had that green light from half court in. Didn't matter.
You got to fun with that.
Yeah.
Even though I hate man, I used to like Duke until last year. Then Coach K, I thought Coach K was a dude.
Did
you let that dude go out there kicking people and tripping people?
Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen ruined Duke.
I like Grayson Allen. He plays hard, but he's I don't know what he does.
He also should have left last year. He should have left before.
He was getting in too much trouble last year.
Or no, not last year. The year before last year.
Okay.
He should have left before that.
Yeah, he dunks on people. He got a shot. He can run point.
Now I don't think he's gonna get a respected league though.
No Duke. It's just like your what's it called? What'd you say with football? USC quarterback, a Duke player. What do they do? They name a good superstar Duke player in the NBA.
Superstars. Because I don't count JJ Redick as a superstar. He's a great 2K player.
There's none. I don't think there is any that come out of Duke like really, really good. Same with North Carolina. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I won't say Vince Carter probably. That was probably the last really, really good North Carolina player.
I'm trying to think. I felt like there was somebody that came out of North Carolina recently that's like not a superstar yet, but he can come on. I'm just trying to think. It's also because Kentucky's hired just killing it.
Yeah, Kentucky's unreal. That's one and done university.
But has anybody from one and done's actually won a title yet? Because I remember they were talking about that, they're all good. But I don't think any of them since Calipari went there has won a title.
I'm trying to think.
Or any of the guys from his Memphis team.
Yeah, D-Rose. Well, D-Rose is at Memphis.
Yeah.
I'm saying Carol. Towns went to Kentucky.
Yeah,
Cousins, Wall, Bledsoe.
I forgot about Bledsoe.
That's overrated. I think he's overrated. I don't like how he plays. He's a strong point guard. Can't shoot that.
Where did Barnes go? Didn't Barnes go to Kentucky?
Harrison Barnes went to North Carolina.
North Carolina. So that's probably the last one. Because when Barnes was in college, he was like
Mr.
number one. NBA.
Yeah, he was number one rated.
He was rated higher than Kyrie. Because I think him and Kyrie came out the same time.
Yep.
He was rated higher than Kyrie when they went to college.
How long did he stay? 1 year, 2 years?
I think he was one of them weird dudes that stayed. No, because everybody in North Carolina stays more than 1 year.
Yeah.
North Carolina is able to keep people. It's like I don't know what they do down there, but I've read into it before that North Carolina has a very low percentage of one and done players.
Yeah, I believe it. Roy Williams probably wants to develop his players.
See, it's always like I always look. Roy Williams is one of the guys like you don't look like a coach.
He's falling off too.
A lot of them.
He's getting old. Same with Coach K. They're having health issues. Like it's
Also,
it's an era.
it's about to be over. Who's next?
Someone else gonna get that long team.
Who's next?
Well, the other thing that was weird with me and Coach K is I think he's cheating at recruiting.
For the last
the U.S. Olympic team.
20 years.
The Olympic team gives you a path to people's homes.
Yes.
They think you're like, one, you think you're going to get the NBA, and you think you might have that chance to be that one college player that goes to play for the Olympic team, because they always got one.
Right.
And you go to Duke, you're like, well, I got a better chance.
Right. You're going to be on primetime television. You're going to play all the good schools. You're definitely going to make it to the tournament. And then you get drafted.
You know how big Duke is? Pitt, sometimes for the bigger games, usually just rivalries. They sleep outside the arena for the game. They sleep outside the arena for the games.
Okay.
They sleep outside. I was there one day. I used to do security over Pitt, and I walked out into their like little lobby, and there were people in sleeping bags waiting for the Duke game.
No shit.
And I was like, I don't know what
That's what
rivalries.
we do in college.
I believe you. Yeah, I was about to say, you ain't going to see out there. Right?
I'll be call me.
It got to be like a Super Bowl here or something like
that.
that.
In the front of the line. Too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
We ain't way back. They'll be up front.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sleeping.
Hey,
For a college game.
So, yeah, you're right. That's only college. I couldn't do it.
College.
I couldn't do
We
it.
over there. We're outside
Yeah.
That's not
Especially because basketball season is cold. That Duke game was in February.
Middle of
winter. You know me in winter.
No, catch me inside.
And the thing is, like, and the big issue for Pitt, like when it comes to that type of stuff is we ain't got no rivals because Syracuse is supposed to be our rival.
There's no Big East, yeah.
Like,
well,
and then, to me, it should be easier in basketball to schedule West Virginia and Penn State.
what's this? Our second year in the ACC?
I think it's third now.
Third.
Because Louisville is came.
Yeah.
Louisville is what today is.
Okay. I like Louisville's always good with Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
That's your boy.
No, man. Do you remember the scandal?
That's the original Kentucky man.
The scandal with the prostitutes?
Oh yeah. Man, poor guy. He's an old head too, huh? He's been around for a long time.
Speaking of that, since this one's a little fresher, how you feel about Hugh Freeze and Ole Miss? And you hear about that?
Mm-mm.
He just got fired because they have a pattern of phone calls, which are from, he was in Tampa Bay, but they were phone calls to a Detroit area code.
Mm-hmm.
They retraced the phone calls to an escort service.
Oh,
Work for him. He also, we call him Ole Miss. but it is the University of Mississippi technically.
Right.
That's a state school, meaning it's a state phone. Meaning anybody can look up these records because they can request record for state employees.
Like, you don't have a cell phone? You better page me or something, man.
No, this is the key to this.
Obama phones.
Right,
Right.
go get a burner phone.
That old Obama. Give me them.
In the game with the Obama phone.
So this is the thing. College contracts, most coaches' contracts, they fire you early, they gotta pay you. That's what happened to who was the coach for Notre Dame a couple years ago. He kept on getting paid.
Charlie Weiss.
Yeah, I think he just got off the books for Notre Dame.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he was bad.
He's getting paid.
He was getting paid by two schools. He was getting paid by Kansas too after they fired him too.
Mm-hmm.
So if he would have just got fired normally, he'd have kept all his money. But they told him he handed him his out. They told him, we can fire you, we're not going to pay you when you can sue us, or you can just resign and save face. He resigned. So think about this. You had to go home and tell your wife. Also, Hugh Freeze is one of those Bible punching dudes. Like, he's one of those Southern coaches that tells you Bible this, Bible that.
Right.
So you have to go home to your wife. You have to tell her you lost your job. You have to tell her why you lost your job. And you got to tell her everything's going to be okay. And to follow the Lord.
No, and both.
You also got to tell her that the reason that you're not going to keep the money from your job is I'm assuming your wife understands that when you get fired from your jobs in this place that you still get paid.
Right.
Because of contracts. You have to explain to her because of what you did, they are not going to pay you. Man,
I can't even come home late from work for 10 minutes, let alone do all this while my girlfriend on me.
So
poor guy.
Hugh Freeze is done. Like, it's a wrap for him with Ole Miss. And also the big kicker. He was a high school coach of Blindside.
Okay. Oh, really? Michael Orr.
He was Michael Orr was a high school coach. This is the reason he went straight to Ole Miss. Because Michael Orr played at Ole Miss.
They were good last year. Who was the quarterback? He was Mr. Irrelevant. I think he got picked last in the draft last year. And he was sleeping. They had him on camera.
Oh, yeah. Because I thought he was going to be good.
I forget his name. It was a story. He was Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. And they put the camera on him when he got drafted. The last pick in the draft, my man was taking sweet naps.
I do. My thing is, man, I'm not Geno Smith, but if I thought I was going to get drafted in one of the first 2 rounds and I didn't get drafted, y'all might as well I disconnected until training camp.
Right. I'll talk to you whenever. Yeah, you can interview me and catch me on camera.
Now, I'm not going to fire my agent because Geno Smith fired his agent because he wasn't the first overall pick, even though we all knew the Kansas City Chiefs were not going to draft you that year. There was no reason. Alex Smith still had something in him. Let's jump down. My feelings on Alex Smith is he's not going to throw any interceptions.
No, never.
So it's literally on you. It's on your defense to fuck this up to me.
Yeah.
Like, that was always my thing about Alex Smith. Like, people might not like Alex Smith because he ain't going to win the game for you.
No.
But
he'll get you down in the field.
Yeah, like, he's not like never going to say slowly. He needs that
5 yards at a time.
Yeah, he needs that Tyreek Hill, Jamal Charles type of defense.
Yeah, Jamal's good on the work.
I like Tyreek Hill.
Best fantasy game ever.
Oh, yeah.
I got like 200 and something points from Jamal Charles one game because he got like 5 touchdowns. Like,
yeah.
3 of them were receiving touchdowns. He had like 190 something yards of receiving and like only like 25 yards rushing.
I remember that. Jamal Charles.
I think it was against you.
I think he's done too.
It was against. I played him in fantasy one year and I scored like 260 points. And Jamal Charles.
It wouldn't have happened. It was projected for me to win and everything. I was looking good. I was like, oh, Jamal Charles, 20 points. It's not going to be.
That was a play. That was a playoff game.
Yeah,
for fantasy playoff. Yeah.
It was a.
I remember that.
It definitely would have been like a conference championship.
I had that too. Yep. I had. I think it was a week Cam Newton and I forget. He had Jamal Charles. I had Cam Newton. Cam had like 4 touchdowns, something like that. Like you said, Jamal Charles, 197.
Well, you can't. No, you weren't gonna expect that.
Right? Like in the league we had, the amount of points he scored, would have won him against almost anybody else. I outscored them. I had scored them in the total 260 points.
Damn. 200 points. Oh.
No, I had 200 before Jamal Charles played. It was a Sunday night game for Jamal Charles. I had nobody on Monday night.
What's your point system look like?
It was just PPR. The PPR did that. That was the only time that ever happened in my league. My league is still have a decent, like our highest scores are usually like 150 at the most.
Right.
That day, I won a title that. Yeah. But that day, all my starters went off.
Yeah.
Everybody had at least 20 points, and the kicker had like 15.
Got that money though.
Like
a money shot.
I've never had it. Like I had like 5 losses with that team that season. It wasn't like I murdered the league. It was just that game.
It's just when you catch fire.
Actually, was that the year that I was the AC? I think I was the 8 seed into the playoffs.
Yeah.
8 seed and win it.
Yeah.
How many teams?
That year was 12.
12 teams are a little bit rough. I like 10. Like
I said, we're going to figure that out here because I'm like, we
I
announced
need to
earlier.
see you guys in the fantasy.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're in this now.
You're in.
Oh man, off top. This is another day of signing up with Kenny Man.
Yeah, that's like I said. Give him. I'm gonna need your email.
Yeah.
I need emails because I'm I was going to do it today. It's not gonna happen today. But I'm gonna go in and put all the stuff up for the fantasy league through the weekend. I just need to get everybody's emails, and after that, like I said, I want to try to get one fan after the first week of the show, and then we get our core fan base, and we figure out the call-in system. We got to figure that out. I actually never thought we talked about it. All right. But after we figure out the call-in system, I want one lucky fan of the show.
All the phones are coming. Everybody, we all get them.
But I want to get one lucky fan into the league. Like I said, everybody else is going to be radio personnel, even some behind-the-scenes people. But like I said, 3 people you see here, this somebody voice that is Malachi.
See enough for that guy.
Yeah.
But us 4, like I said, originally it was going to be 10, but to keep the criteria that I want one fan, we might have to go to 12. I will never go past 12.
Okay.
I've seen leagues.
No.
I've seen what happens to leagues
bench.
after that. No bench. No
You
bench.
have nothing.
You ever watch like on ESPN whenever they do their ESPN ones, and there's like there's a 12, there are 20-team leagues on ESPN.
Oh yeah.
You're starting.
You're starting like
third down running backs.
They are starting to people that they're like, well, he might get that goal line touchdown.
Yeah, he might get that. He might.
Yeah, right.
Like, you're-
Start Brandon Jacobs for his 2 carries.
Oh, yeah.
The whole night chiming in still. You see what's up with that $2 million tournament? This one down in Baltimore.
For
One
what?
player, it's a 5-on-5, 1 elimination. I was trying to look up the facts.
Oh, that will be a topic on Monday.
It happened. It just went down. It just played on the 3rd for the champion. I think Juwan Blair and their team won.
Okay,
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. I did hear about
That's
that.
Ty Cheater's cousin.
Okay.
So
They do that every year, huh?
Yeah. He wants to let y'all feel, but I guess we'll talk about it.
We're talking about them on the app on YouTube.
Please chime in on YouTube on the PS4 for all the PS4 people out there. Period.
I can't wait. Now I got to think about that. PS4 and the Xbox. Hey.
And high out Brad one
I don't have
Avenue.
I don't have cable, so all my shit's run through the Xbox. Like my Netflix, Hulu, ESPN, because I use my mom's ESPN, her cable to do that. Everything's run through that. So I thought about that. It'll be that's gonna pop. Damn.
Yeah,
so this is beta, so my excitement's still gonna be there. Like I'll be in like my business mode after this, but I'm still excited about this. Y'all remember the original Rap Jerry, which is still the segment on Mondays. Rap Jerry, check it out this Monday. I'm just gonna announce this now. We are going to we're moving down around the albums we're gonna review because it's been a month. I'm going with Jay-Z 444, Tyler the Creator, Flower Boy, and Meek Mill's wins and losses. Because I'm just on the L side.
We hear that boss. We're hearing all that reviews about it.
No. The first song with the
Hey, he's
team
hungry, man.
was some real shit.
He's hungry again.
I can't handle them being yelled to.
Yeah.
It's even something I like. I can only listen to so much of the hype Eminem. I love Eminem, but I couldn't listen to Kim and a couple other songs back to back because he's just screaming at me.
And it's depressing.
Yeah.
That shit, man.
So yeah, that's my issue with that. But again, I'm gonna give it a fair chance. I've already beat most of 444. I just got to have a sit down with it. Heavy sit down with
to
it.
really listen to it.
The other 2 I've not listened to. I will hop up on Spotify or something.
You didn't listen to Wins and Losses yet?
Nah, because like I
I
said,
think that's probably one of my new.
I think the
recent albums.
I think the last mixtape, the last Dream Chaser mixtape before the album was the last full project I gave Meek a chance with.
What was that? What was
Dream Chasers 3.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the last one I got. I mean, I still listen to the MMG projects that are group
The
projects.
first MMG projects were crazy with him, Ross, Stolly,
Yeah.
Wale. It was
That's what I
crazy.
still want to see.
Hey.
Probably good album. I still want to see Stolly do something like.
What's up with him? He just
I don't know.
He's always in limbo with it,
right.
right?
He's in like the shadows,
Yeah.
lurking.
I do want to see a good album.
It's also, I don't know if Ross has the ability to focus on more than 2 artists at a time.
Agreed.
And it's always been Wale and Meek, even though they're beefing basically.
Right.
It's always been Wale and Meek.
And Wale.
And I'll take that back. He gave Gunplay some little push.
He definitely did.
Like even though Gunplay,
Bible on the Dash.
Bible on the Dash was dope. I'm not even a Gunplay fan. Bible on the
Me
Dash was
neither.
dope.
I can't stand Gunplay. After he get knocked out by 50 Cent people.
Yeah. You ever see the video when he choked out his accountant?
No.
Yo, there's a video where he runs into accountant offices and beats up his accountant.
I'm kidding. Accountant.
Yes.
Probably a dorky ass white dude with glasses. He's probably like, oh my god.
Yeah, right. Over that rider.
This guy. You're gonna get this guy. Did you see the thing of Young Buck choking out Starlito?
Yeah, I heard about that. Starlito's wanted for shooting in a restaurant.
I didn't know he was he All-Star back in the day? That Grey Goose. I'm on that Grey Goose. That Yo Gotti jam back in the day.
Yes.
That was the first Gotti I heard.
Honestly, Starlito, if anybody who listens from Memphis, if you go back to their albums or mixtapes, Starlito's guaranteed to probably be on there as a feature.
Right, Gotti and All-Star. I think that was who he was before he was Starlito. Because I asked him, like, who the heck is Starlito? I'm looking it up and it said he had a hit called Grey Goose. I remember that.
He also didn't have that awesome song?
Yeah.
Which I hate that song.
Yeah.
We should just brought up again. Everybody's gonna play it tonight. That's the next song.
This is UnFiltered. You need to know what I don't like. Like you gotta listen to these people, and if you like it, but like we gonna have a whole mumble rap conversation one day where you're like, I'm gonna run down this list.
Mumble rap.
Yeah,
rap's weird nowadays, man.
What you get?
It's sad.
21 Savage is not a mumble rap. You've come to the term that 21 Savage is not a mumble rap. He's just not a lyrical. But if you can hear everything, if you tell me you don't understand 21 Savage,
as long as you like this like era that I really.
You said?
People say that.
Bibby.
Lil Bibby?
Baby's cool. Baby's cool.
That For the Love, that was my jam.
I'm good with them too.
I got Blow.
Also, something else. Somebody else said this to me the other day, and I was like, we almost had a fight about this. Montana 300 is nowhere near a mumble rapper. He just gets content gets overlapped with him a lot.
He gets pushed into with the Chicago genre.
Yeah.
All of them.
Oh no, I mean if you're gonna talk the way that he'd be talking, like Uzi's Angel with Uzi, whatever.
He's weird.
That was
Lil Uzi. He's a weird.
I know, fuck Lil Uzi. No, straight up.
Whatever review.
We'll do Rage's Love sometime. No, again, hey, shout out to Lil Uzi because his verse on that the song for Fast and the Furious shouted out my name and I'm happy. Or at least the car after my name.
Skyline.
He talked about the GTR. I like that. Outside of that, I don't know how Philly let this shit slide.
He's weird.
That's my issue. How did Philly let this shit slide?
He's borderline sweet, man. He's definitely
borderline rock star generation.
He's wearing girls' clothes, purses. I see males with purses nowadays, man. You ever see that Facebook? People like, I got the 50 purses for an iced tea and the Douce bottle. I got to get lit for the gram. Got this purse. Like, what?
Social media and all that stuff is just going outright.
Just because it says Gucci doesn't mean it works.
Right.
Like, I don't even like hold, like, my girl had me in her purse for a minute to hold. You got like 3 seconds before everybody's like walk around. It's like, I want a fucking purse. Like, so how is it like, oh, it's going my Jordans? Yeah. You hold like you don't want to hold it. Like, you're like, got this fucking purse, man. Whatever with you. Yeah, but you never want to say, well, we'll go with these shoes. Like,
the best
you're going. Once that becomes even a thought, like,
the best was the first one. Dude had the brown paper bag. When his wife handed him the person to go to the store, he just had the bag and he threw it in the brown paper bag.
I would too, man. I would too.
Like, that's how I feel about purses. So
right.
If you don't feel like that, and now you're even really rocking.
You're rocking it.
You're way
as an accessory. If
you're
a male, you're accessorizing.
Like we had that conversation a couple days ago. You gotta be pimp. You
gotta
be
what?
Pimp. Not the purse.
For the purse?
Not the purse. But like for the other stuff that's suspect about people, what these people are wearing. It's like I let Trinidad James slide because I've been seeing this new Trinidad James movement.
I'm loving that.
Yeah,
like, he introduced me to it and I can't stop.
Like before we leave, like after we get off air, I'm gonna show you at least 2 of the songs. Because I was hating on Trinidad James too. Like it was weird. I hated all gold everything, and then he had that first mixtape that I thought was like, I understand.
Right.
And then it like really bad and he got dropped from Def Jam.
Right.
Then he just reemerged. He had that joint with Mystical and Little Dicky that I actually do kind of like.
Yeah.
And then hey, Mystical's the South DMX.
Yeah, I'll say that. That was the what did he go to jail for? Like some weird
Mystical?
Yeah,
little kid shit or some rape shit.
No, it wasn't a little kid. It was a woman. No, we would never let him slide. We would never let him slide for something like that. That's where hip hop draws the line outside of R. Kelly.
Yeah, that's
the R&B. See, that's what I'm saying. Hip hop. R&B, they let him like it's like OJ with me. Like again, you got away with something. We let you stop that early shit.
And we keep fucking up.
And you came back around and did it again. Now I can't listen to music.
Now he has a cult. I can't even listen to Coldplay no more, man. Ruined it for me.
Like, and that's the thing is he spreads generations. Like you said, 12 Play. I like the album when he did with it was like the sequel. Was it the sequel to 12 Play that had the songs with like Kid Rock and shit?
Okay, yeah.
I fucked with that. I know my mom liked that last album, Black Caddies, because my mom's like follows R. Kelly through his entire career.
From Chocolate Factory. He had a couple.
And I'm sitting like, man, one thing, I don't. There's a level just like Billie Jean. I don't care what he does. When I hear the beat for Ignition, I'm spitting that verse.
Yeah. You talk about Mike.
Like
Mike's the GOAT, man.
So like that's my thing. Like there's just certain things I'm like, yo man, you can come up and tell me today there's 14 severed heads in R. Kelly's closet. Ignition comes on, it's the remix to Ignition. This is gonna be what happens.
Good music gets you off your case.
You're right.
Good music gets you off your case. That's art.
I'll dig it.
Like I said, this is not. But like I said, this is the first day. Like I said, I'm happy to have everybody here. He's going to be back. Like I said, his sports knowledge and how smooth he is with his sports knowledge, he'll be back. James is here. We just gotta get him out of the show a little bit more. He'll be talking. You can cut in whenever you want, man. If you like, because I'm still done about the Jordan Matthews thing. His hate for Jordan Matthews is so incredible. Yeah,
Ryan Matthews.
Ryan Matthews. Oh,
yeah, you don't like Jordan Matthews either. Wide receiver.
Yeah, he's not
overrated. What's he, a number one?
He's number one.
He's like number two. He's
a
number
number two.
one.
He's number two now.
Okay.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah, he's.
And I think they got Troy Smith.
I think Alshon Jeffrey just got carted off the field today, honestly.
No, he didn't.
No,
Oh, if he did,
If Alshon Jeffrey got carted off the field, I'm saying this right now. I'm done. He's injured.
I'm done with him. I'm done with Alshon Jeffrey.
That's a fantasy implication big right now. He's a second round wide receiver if he's healthy. Yeah, that's a problem.
That's I mean, him with Brandon Marshall like a few years back. I mean, that was it.
What do you look at Brandon Marshall in fantasy anyway? Like Odell's there. I know he's making touchdowns,
man. He drops a lot of balls.
I feel like he's gonna be like that dude from the Packers a couple years ago. Remember the guy from the Packers that had like 13 touchdowns, but he only had like 700 yards receiving?
Was it James Jones?
Yeah, it was James Jones.
And then he went to Oakland. He didn't do anything there.
Went back to the
Did he go back to? Yeah, he did go back to the Packers.
He had a good year last year, which is really weird.
But again, he had that weird statistic where he had like 13 or 14 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But he only had like 700 yards.
Alshon Jeffrey sideline with shoulder injury.
Oh, he's done. I don't fuck with him.
Okay.
All right, he's done. I'm not fucking with him. If he's out for the whole year, I'm done.
So it's just LeGarrette Blount and maybe Carson Wentz for the Eagles this year.
That's
Carson Wentz. We'll see what he does. See what his sophomore.
So it's just LeGarrette Blount for this year. So.
Yeah. I mean, and maybe if you trust Jordan Matthews as like a flex.
Yeah.
If you went out for a flex, I mean, if you're like the last team, like
really,
I've learned every year talking this fantasy stuff that it's all cool until you go through 3 or 4 rounds and you notice you didn't pick a position.
Right.
Yeah.
Still need somebody.
Especially like if you go like the killer of your team
receiver.
is if you decide to get a tight end in the first 4 rounds. Because then that messes up the flow. Or a tight end and a quarterback. I think if you get a tight end and a quarterback within the first 4 rounds.
Depending on who it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you end up having to figure out where your second running back and wide receiver.
Right.
Because you would start 2.
It all depends on your draft.
Yeah, now guys looking at me like
I was planning on winning this shit.
Oh,
yeah. He my same team.
He wants to win the one where we're picking the teams who win.
Okay.
But we're also going to have a second competition in standings where we pick the Steeler game every week, and we're going to do a random draw for 2 other games to do.
We're going to get a lot of.
We do it with the spreads. We do it with the spreads or just straight up.
I'm not into that. So if you can do the spreads part and tell us what it means, yeah. No, I know what the spreads mean. I just won't look it up. Like I have an issue.
Right.
I look it up.
The dry ice fan. Nice.
You know how many of y'all just perked up? Like whenever if you're watching this now, or you watch it later, and you waited till this point, your eyes perked up. Like you're gonna start talking spreads.
Right.
There's some people out here that are ready for that. Like cool.
I got spreads.
I found an app or something.
I know people
But I've seen
money.
I watched this the SVP and Midnight Man and see them talking about how people react about spreads.
I like Van Pelt. He's a good dude. He's a good anchor.
But yeah, like I said, there's definitely a place for spreads here. Because I know how people act about them spreads. Spreads are more important than the games for some people.
Right.
Especially when you get to like close games and you got to figure out how they're going to manage spreads between like
with a 3.5 point spread.
6.5 point spreads in a football game, so that's confusing.
Right. 1 touchdown ends it all for you.
So, and especially the blowout spreads, like whenever it's college, like Alabama against like Southern Charleston,
Norfolk State,
and then like it's a 55-point spread, and that spread matters because what if that team has their Appalachian State game?
Right, they beat Michigan.
And I'm like,
at Michigan.
So like, yeah, those spreads matter, especially in college.
That might be one of like the biggest blowouts that I've ever seen. Appalachian State beat Michigan.
Or you remember they didn't win. UL Lafayette losing to Florida by 7 years ago.
Yeah.
That spread was probably the
UL Lafayette.
I have a hoodie. I got a UL. I collect college hoodies.
Why?
Because Pitt doesn't give me what I need. Pitt and Oregon. I rep Oregon.
Oregon they got the Nike contract, man.
That was my dude, man.
Yeah.
Dennis Dixon, even though he couldn't read the playbook. I found that out when he came to the Steelers and he learned how to read playbooks.
Who else did they have? Michael James.
D'Anthony Thomas.
Blunt. Your boy Blunt.
Well, Michael
Sucker
James,
punch
man,
Blunt.
he used to hate me. I used to play with Michael James all the time.
Oh yeah.
I used to like picking the 49ers because of Michael James.
That's some Reggie Bush or Chris Johnson shit. Throw him out on the. Take him out the backfield, put him up as a wide receiver, little slot.
Remember the year when both Oregon State was good when they had the the Rogers brothers on there too?
Chris Rogers.
So, but yeah, like those are my spots. But yeah, just to throw the quick rundown. This is collection to keep on growing. I have a UNLV hoodie, I have a Boise State hoodie, and I have a UL Lafayette hoodie.
Yeah.
Two. I just like obscure
Boise
colleges.
State.
Colleges.
Zabinski. What was his name?
Crap.
And the running back and then the quarterback on the five.
Wasn't the running back the one that proposed during the game?
Yeah.
I forget the Kellen Moore was quarterback.
Before him.
It was before him.
Started with like a Z. It was a real weird last name, man. I forget. They ran the Statue of Liberty to win the game. That's crazy. I forgot about Boise State. They really fell off.
Oh yeah, like I said, I like getting obscure hoodies. Like I looked at Marquette hoodie for the basketball side because their yellow hoodie is pretty dope.
Yeah. Their alternate's pretty cool.
Saying that, I'm getting a throwback script picture hoodie at some point. It's just a guy. I live in Pittsburgh. I know they put them joints on sale sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Remember when Stephen Barry's was over there? They had it all. They had all the teams.
Stephen Barry's.
Yep.
The fact check over here. I can be on Google over here. I got y'all. That's what I want to do.
That's it.
But because Malachi knows, because of the triple B thing, I ordered and I have them. I just didn't wear them today. I have them Starburst. I got a new pair of
Alright, so you
Starburst.
got the triple B.
I'm
happy with the Strawberries. You gonna say you got the triple B?
I bought the Strawberries because of the triple Bs. I bought the Strawberries because of the triple Bs.
I hate.
That's literally why I bought that.
I love to show people. See, you turn unfiltered is all types of shit.
Like I literally went up into the
Strawberries.
Strawberries.
How much?
Quarterbacks to sneaks. Like that.
They out here fucking with me. So they still got the $15 ones. But it was like $12 shipping to him.
Okay, so $27.
No, they do have like some. They have Strawberries have like a new brand where it's like $50 Strawberries. I went to the Strawberry site to get $15 shoes.
Yeah, right. Good for Stephen Marbury, man. He's still over in
He's doing
China.
his killing it. Oh, he's killing it over there.
He has his own museum over there.
How old's he now?
39.
He got him pushing. He's probably. I feel like he's as old as Iverson. Iverson's pushing like 30.
Stephen Marbury, the tattoo too. He got a logo on the side of it.
Right here, big half of whatever that is.
Like a half star.
I don't even know if that's what it is. It's like 3/4.
Yes, he has a logo to his sneakers on it.
That's where he messed up. He went to Nixon and just fell off. They thought he was going to be like the second coming, like straight out. Where's Coney Island?
It was like between him and D'Antoni not being able to merge.
Right.
Because D'Antoni's a moody coach. I like D'Antoni.
Offense. All offense. All offense. Some teams used to get scored on by like.
I'm kind of shocked that he never went to the Kings. What's that? I'm sorry. Because Waddy Bebop is the one out here trying to say, let's play cherry pit.
He's
Remember?
Who did he just trade?
Cousins? Or trade
traded Cousins for who?
Was it the point guard that was on the team? Because he thought it was a point guard on the Pelicans is going to be the next Buddy Hill. And he thinks he's going to turn into the next Steph Curry.
No.
And who did what you say? How old is Steph? 40. Yeah. So he has one more year in China, but he just went. Don't ask me how I got this. But he won the last 3 championships in the team he was on China in Beijing.
Shoes. That's how you know.
No, man, I don't follow Chinese association. No, there is like a mission statement in the shoe. Like I got a big ass mission statement with my shoe. But no, he played for the same team.
All right, son, over here, I'm cool. Tell my people I'm good.
He's getting money in China.
Send a messages home.
Yeah, right. True.
But he spent the last 3 years with the same team in China. They won 3 championships in a row. He just left that team to go to a different team in the same city. Like Beijing's like New York over there, so they got multiple teams in one city. So he's playing for a new team in China for his last year.
Does he play against Jimmer? Because I know Jimmer's over there too.
He might.
If he's in Sharks, I want to say.
Yeah, they're playing the same thing. Yeah, because China's basketball league is like the 3rd biggest basketball league in the planet.
Okay.
Like so yeah, I'm pretty sure if it's one league, they pay more sometimes.
That's gotta be culture shock, man.
They pay more sometimes. And China's the only other league you go to, you basically guaranteed you're going to get paid.
Right.
Because I've heard some things about people going to like play in Turkey and Italy and not getting paid.
Off-brand, I wouldn't say off-brand countries, but
countries
that are like this big on the map.
For basketball, for your political stuff, it's a political
exercise. I need some Chinas. We can Japan, man, little guys.
But yeah, like China's at least pays y'all. And they pay y'all good. Like something like Stephon Marbury's contract is still Might not be $100 million.
Yeah, right.
But he's still getting like 20, 30 mil a year.
That's still
And endorsements.
Right.
It's Chinese endorsements.
Oh, unreal. Unreal.
So
He's getting more endorsements over there than he was here.
that's true.
That's sad.
I mean,
But yeah, that was the move for him though.
Yeah.
And the thing about Stephon Marbury is Stephon Marbury wasn't a scrub.
Right.
He's not like DeJuan Blair could have went to China and balled, but DeJuan Blair was never going to be bigger in basketball in the NBA.
No, he's not tall.
Stephon Marbury could have found a way to find a team in the NBA and still been an all-star.
He just wanted to do him, man.
Right.
Can't.
Like really, he's more like a Ricky Williams looking story. Except Ricky Williams didn't go to Canada and keep playing in Canada.
He just went to Colorado smoking weed.
Right. Well, no, Ricky went to Canada. He played for Montreal for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like he came back. Stephon Marbury never came back.
No. He saw the grass was greener on the other side and stayed there. I ain't mad at him either. You try and get this check.
But nobody else come over. That's
Right.
why he keep looking back.
Right.
Like he saw
Nobody else
Metta World Peace come over and change his name. He's like, yo, man, keep your crazy ass over there.
I don't like Metta World Peace. Never did.
Never did.
No. Maybe on the Bulls when he was on our test.
Like one good year where he was like that dude.
Right.
Hey, man,
He had that dagger.
Ball, it's like he's just no up in the hood. Like,
I'm always
Right?
been down just because of the malice in the house.
Basketball dude.
Like him and Steven Jackson were my dudes. The basketball Steven Jackson.
When he crushed that little dude in the stand, Steven Jackson, he come out of nowhere. Whoop! Dude was like, oh!
ready for that.
Put a steak on that motherfucker.
Hey man, they were throwing stuff at him. Like it's like man, like there's a big time.
Yeah,
They were throwing stuff at him, bro. That's a whole different story.
No, one dude had Artest in like a half Nelson or something. I forget what it was. And dude punched Artest. Steven Jackson come out the cut and then wow, chin check him.
Steven Jackson one of the most dangerous players in NBA history.
On and off the field. Yeah.
Remember when Ibaka tried to step on him? We were all looking at Ibaka like, we know you from Spain.
Right.
But Steven Jackson is no winner.
shit. Yeah. He's with the shits. He's definitely.
Like, yo, that's why I was shocked when he went to the. You notice that the Big Three league is like Iverson and like a couple other former stars, and then a bunch of dudes used to like fight.
Ruben Patterson, Steven Jackson.
That's crazy.
Steven Jackson was just fighting with who was he fighting with? His coach?
He was fighting with somebody.
Charles Oakley, his coach.
And that's the one on
Who's the only one?
Charles, I don't want him.
That highlight reel.
Right? That's another one, man. That's another one. That's crazy.
I can't wait. And you know, and Chauncey's there. I can't wait for the next couple of years. I need Vince Carter to go straight from the league to the Big Three. Like literally steps off the court and walks onto a half court.
They said Iverson didn't show up for his last game.
Oh yeah, we supposed to talk about that.
Just no call, no show.
Yeah, I saw a meme that said, I thought it was practice, not a game.
Yeah. I mean, it's damn near practice. It's damn near pickup game.
Hey man, they play pretty hard out there.
Yeah.
Until White Chapel got hurt.
Jason Williams.
That hurts so much.
Man.
I was so excited.
When
I saw him pull the move in the All-Star game, even though it was like a tied down move, a version of
chocolate?
Yeah. He was sick.
He got hurt in the first game.
Yeah.
Him and what was it? No, I'm talking about back in NBA.
Whenever that rookie game, him, Weber, Stojakovic, D-Box, I forget who else was there. Doug Christie maybe, and then they got rid of him. They got rid of Williams for Bibby.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then that was team.
Hey man, low key, Bibby's no, it's not even the same Bibby. I don't think it's the same Bibby. But tell me why I see so many Vancouver Bibby jerseys like
yeah,
like
same Bibby.
It is. All right, so why
That's
is
who
it
they traded for. Whenever Vancouver moved to Memphis, traded Bibby for Williams. Williams was number 2 on Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay. Because I'm like, I go to concerts a lot, and like outside of like current jerseys,
The throwbacks.
that throwback Vancouver jersey
Is
is
ill.
the jersey.
Brian Reeves.
Like I see that jersey a lot. That might be the same dude that shows up to save the Eagles. I see that jersey a
Same
lot.
guy. See them all concerts.
It's always the same jersey.
You too about, bro. Okay.
Like that, and like I see every once in a while Steph Curry Davidson jerseys,
Yes.
and I love those.
Yes. I'm your guy. When it comes to sports and clothes, shoes, jerseys, man, I'll
Like,
talk about that all
We
day.
about to get off the air, but like, because I just want to say it on air. Because my next 3 jerseys, I'm planning on copping jerseys, seeing back in the game. Because my last jersey's been years since I had that big jersey.
Yeah.
that
Which best
is-
jersey?
I got a black Falcons big jersey.
I got the green Eagles jersey.
Okay.
When it first came back.
So I almost got my mom a Steelers one, and she rocked with them on the Steelers, but I'm just like,
That'd be cool. I seen him was it last year? 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years.
2 years,
I seen his last game he played in and we ended up winning that game. I think it was against the Ravens.
No, Michael Vick on the Steelers was a hard thing to watch.
Yeah, it hurt my soul, but at least I got to see him live. That's all I wanted to see.
And then I remember I saw his old truck from the Falcons as he pulled up at the stadium with the big red, big ass tires. Like he never got rid of that.
Oh,
that shit's nice. But
what was you saying?
Jerome Bettis. I gotta find this because they don't
blue
make
rims,
these.
white rims.
I'm going to attempt to get a Barry Bonds Pirates jersey, but they do not sell them.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I will refine that.
So I'm gonna have to get that
Side off the market.
Yeah.
They do not try to associate with that one.
That's a hard one.
Little head Barry Bonds, I got the cards.
Little head Barry.
That was the last, I just got the Pirates heavy last 6 years.
Yeah.
That was it. That Vance going ball walk.
Yep.
Baseball cards, all that. I stopped everything right there. That 92-3.
J Bell,
That was
Carlos
probably
Garcia.
what?
Dan Slate, that was my dude.
We had a squad. That was.
Yeah,
I still think we should win a bunch of default championships due to no steroids.
right.
I feel every other sport, Little League or something, that team cheated.
Danny
I think we got the most years of no steroid use, and it's that's
because the thing about it is you could tell that Barry Bonds in Pittsburgh was not on steroids.
Yeah, he was 190 pounds. Fat, stealing bases, great hits this big. Man,
he was the drug-free team.
Yeah,
they got no recognition for it. Damn, it's playing fair. That shit don't work.
Right.
And then the last jersey, which is going to be as hard, but might be a little easier to get, will be as hard as the Barry Bonds jersey, because I like getting uniqueness out of these. I want to see if I can get a Yager Pens jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, that was more you'll get that one.
Yeah, he's played for so many teams.
Barnes is insane.
Yeah.
That's a band.
Right.
You got to go to China. You make me in this size. That's the only way you get that one.
Right.
You'll find it in the Yager easy. That's better.
Well, again, I love the teams, but I feel like if I get a New Jersey, I'm gonna go to a game because my son likes hockey.
Everybody's
so gonna have that. I want the Bonds jersey because I think it's funny, and because Barry Bonds was the GOAT when he was here before he decided to do steroids.
Yes.
So, and I think he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Y'all never caught these people failing tests, so y'all got to figure that out.
You want to need a whole other hour for that debate.
I can talk about steroids should be fine in baseball. It doesn't make you better.
I can't wait.
Makes you hit home runs.
And that's why we go to the damn thing. For home runs and the strikeouts. So
right.
Two people, your home run hitter and your pitcher show belong to on steroids.
Great.
Yeah, that's
it. Great.
The only other thing he's right, because outside of that, I want to see a triple play live one day. I want to see somebody still home live one day. Those things are really small.
Yeah. So you missed that was back on what? Ricky Jackson or Ricky Henderson?
Somebody's still home last year.
Somebody's still home.
Yeah,
it was one of them standouts. He was going to third, and it was
right.
That's how you saw
Major League did the same. Willie Mays Hayes. I ain't seen somebody still home since Snipes. Willie Mays Hayes.
And somebody got an unassisted triple play last
year. Yeah,
that doesn't happen here again. That's a great. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
Damn, what the hell was the person running? We had to do something dumb.
No, what happens usually is it's like a line drive straight to second base, and the dude running the second gets caught. He's halfway to second base, you
and then run down.
Yeah.
Okay. I always say because you just went out there stupid. And right.
That's crazy. You did that, you go down in history.
But hey, again, Jay Skyline. I'm gonna let y'all say y'all names yourselves this time. I'm Jay Skyline.
Brick Flair, man.
James.
This is Unfiltered. Malachi, basically like the manager here.
Sorry, that's going back to the main thing. I just love how it was like Jay Skyline. You say
Brick Flair.
Brick Flair was like James. I love it though. I'm not talking at all.
Hey, I got nicknames for it, but next show I'm gonna rattle off the nicknames I got.
That's Game of Thrones. That's the reggae Game of Thrones over there.
Like I said, my nickname calls from Drifter Jesus. So we got nicknames for him.
Drifter Jesus works.
So we gonna be back. Like I said, Monday, me and him will be back with reviews. 4 for 4, Lenz and Ross's Flower Boy. Y'all know the album, the people that do the albums. So we're gonna be back for those. He will definitely be back Thursday, and he can come in any day he wants. If something big happens, like if Kyrie gets traded this weekend, we might have to pull him in. So that's how it is. So we will be back. Unfiltered is back, full show. For everybody that's been waiting for my rap jury, rap jury's Monday. Rap jury will be back Monday. Because that was the original show that we had. So let's let you go now. It's hard for me to say goodbye, but goodbye.